Gamliel died about 68 of the Common Era, before the destruction of the Temple and Jerusalem. The scholars said, on that day, the glory of Torah departed, and all justice and purity passed away. His son, Shimon ben Gamliel, succeeded him as president of the Sanhedrin. Shimon was one of the leaders of the war against the Romans. Gamliel's grandson was also called Gamliel, named after him, and he was also a great scholar, who in turn led the Sanhedrin after his father Shimon, and when it was re-established after destruction in the year 70. He was known as Rabban Gamliel II. Since the Sanhedrin was now based in Yavneh, after Yochanan ben Zakkai had managed to move the Jewish center there, he's also called Gamliel of Yavneh to distinguish him from his grandfather. A story tells us of his modesty. He stands to serve his guests himself at a feast rather than have his servants do it. Gamliel of Yavneh's greatest achievement was ending the long-lasting opposition between the school of Hillel and Shammai, which had survived even the destruction of the temple. According to tradition, a voice from heaven was heard in Yavneh declaring that although the views of both schools were justifiable in principle as the words of the living God, in practice, the views of Hillel's school are authoritative. Gamliel of Yavneh also had a sister, and she was also very well educated in Jewish law and tradition. She was known as Imma Shalom, the mother of peace, and is one of the few women who are named and quoted in the Talmud. Imma Shalom is mentioned by name in 4 traditions. 3 of them appear in the Babylonian Talmud. The Talmud introduces Imma Shalom, the wife of Rabbi Eliezer, as Rabban Gamliel of Yavneh's sister. Another story, which might make you snigger, is also in the Talmud. Imma Shalom, the wife of Rabbi Eliezer ben Hyrcanus, was asked, "How is it that your children are so beautiful?" And she said to them, "My husband does not talk to me whilst engaging in sexual intercourse." It's interesting that they asked her, and even more interesting that she answered them with such a frank answer, and that it is recorded in the Talmud. In Jerusalem, there is a street named after Imma Shalom, along with other teachers mentioned in the Talmud who give their names to the streets nearby. Many years ago, I was involved in establishing a Jewish primary school near London. We wanted to stress that there were a few scholarly women mentioned in our tradition, as well as so many men. And so we were planning to call it Imma Shalom School. However, setting up a school requires a lot of money, and we found a foundation, the Claw Foundation, who would support it, but they wanted their name to be in it. So the Shalom part was kept, since everyone knows the importance of peace, but the Imma was swapped for Claw, so it became the Claw Shalom School. And so even today, many people do not know the name of this scholarly woman, Imma Shalom, from our tradition.